Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. On today's episode, we're going to do a financial breakdown of one of the most important, iconic, memorable, and historical videos in the history of the Pokemon hobby. Ironically, it's the infamous Pokemon bathroom video created by Rudy from Alpha Investments. Yes, everyone knows who Rudy is. You either love the guy or you hate the guy. But, he's definitely a big Magic guy before he is a Pokemon guy, so it's pretty ironic that one of the most important Pokemon videos from a historical aspect comes from his channel. But then again, it doesn't really come as a surprise just because of how entrenched in all the different trading card games he is and how, iconic of just a content creator he is. But, it's pretty funny that a guy who could call it Pokemon, poke your stepmom while she's stuck in the washing machine. Yeah, you heard me, Rudy, poke your stepmom. But, it's pretty funny that one of the most iconic videos could come from him, but at the same time it doesn't. One thing about Rudy, which, is so very important, is the fact that he gave a voice to a silent minority of people that have been in the hobby for a long time and really didn't have a loud voice. And those are the people that, we're keeping sealed product. We're still buying stuff, even all the downturns, And he was always telling people to stay the course and, believe in the product, believe in the IP, believe in the cards. And, at the end of the day, a lot of people would say he was wrong all the time, would tell a lot of people in the hobby would say stuff like that. And, if it wasn't for him, really showcasing that, yes, in the long term, products seem to always go up. Yeah, there's ups and downs, and I don't think that there's a single video in the history of this hobby that really shows the downs like this video does. And I don't know how many, I'm guessing 100% of you guys have watched this video because, it's so iconic. But as I was watching this video and going back, it's weird that I had super weird emotions because when you go back and you look at some of these sets and some of these booster boxes and some of these collections and everything he was doing, it's almost sad because XY doesn't have a good feeling behind it for a lot of people because, the reprints were so hard for a lot of these sets. The prices had really crashed after, you had that peak in 2016 and then everything took a beating afterwards. There was more supply in the market than anyone could ever eat up. Maybe compared to today and today's hype, maybe it wasn't that much. But man, it was a tough time for a lot of people, and a lot of people watched their collections more or less go down. And it was tough. It was tough to even go back and watch this video and look at a lot of these sets. And I don't care really what XY has done, and that's what a lot of these sets are, is a lot of the XY stuff. I understand a lot of this stuff has gone up, especially XY base set and all this. But going back and revisiting a lot of these sets and really looking at it and listening to Rudy speak about what the prices dropped to and stuff, it took me back in a time machine, and man, it didn't feel good. And, I think this video in itself is so important just because of, to relate to newer collectors that are just entering the hobby or re-entered the hobby after a long time. There are ups and downs, and man, when the downs come, they really hurt. And XY definitely hurt for a lot of people. I know it hurt me, and, it's just to go back. But anyways, for this video, what I'm going to do is I took some screenshots. We're going to go over all the sets, all the items. We're going to go down with, the cost per pack or per booster box or per collection box or whatever. We're going to go over everything that was in his bathroom, what the current prices are. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to do a breakdown of what the actual true value of everything in that bathroom is, for today's prices. And today's prices being May 2021. Yeah, we're going to have the question, is it really Rudy's $1 million Pokemon bathroom, or is it a lot less than that? Maybe it's a lot more than that, but, that's the answer. We're going to try to do our best to answer. And, for a baseline, all the prices I just took off of sold eBay listings. None of the prices come from any other source, just sold eBay listings because I figured that would be the easiest. And as we go through this video, you understand, I got to take a lot of liberties, especially when you're looking at, a cardboard box full of just different amount of packs of cards. You kind of have to make an assumption of how many packs you think might be in there. listening to the video, listen to what Rudy said, how many packs he thinks per box. So yeah, there's a lot of liberties you take, and there's a huge amount of room for error, but all in all, we're going to go over, like I said, everything in the bathroom. We're trying to get a good baseline and at least have a decent understanding of what the prices might be. When you look at this photo of the bathroom, it's absolutely mind-blowing. You got a back wall completely full of cases of booster boxes. You got boxes full of packs of cards. You got showers full of collection boxes and booster boxes and packs. You got packs on the toilet. You got booster boxes next to the toilet. You got a bathroom sink full of pin collections and figure collections and promo cards and code cards. And you got booster boxes in the sinks. You got 2 stacks of ETBs. You got legendary collection boxes, specialty sets. You have black and white. You have sun and moon. You have XY stuff. This bathroom has it all. It's pretty amazing. It's definitely fascinating to go through each one of these items, which we will do in this video. And like I said, we're going to give a dollar amount to each one, and at the end of the video, we're just going to total it up and see what it is. But guys, this is an awesome video. I had a lot of fun doing this. So, first off, we'll just start with boxes of generation packs. At the time, generations was definitely a really expensive packs for a while, and then we saw that huge drop. But now we've seen generations bump back up to around $37 per pack. And a lot of the generations packs, from what I could tell from this video, he got it from a lot of like the generation pin collections and some of the generation figure collections, and he more or less cannibalized it, took the promo cards out, took the pins out, took the figures out, and then took the packs out and put them in these boxes. But we got a couple boxes, at $37 a pack, you got a decent amount of generations right here. And like I said, at the end of the video, we're going to total everything up of how much I think this bathroom actually costs. But next, your eyes are kind of drawn right to the sun and moon base set ETBs. You got the orange ETBs over there and the purple, both sun and moon. And those range between $80 to $100 each, which, isn't bad. You got, 18 of them right there. You got 2 stacks of 9. That's pretty impressive. And you got this huge box of just code cards. And there's a couple promo cards thrown in there. But, even at a code card between 10 and 30 cents, depending on the set, depending on the promo, you still got a decent amount of money here. As we go over to the bathroom sink area, you got the 4 Roaring Skies booster boxes just randomly, thrown in the sink, which is pretty funny. And then right here, I don't know if you could really see it. I couldn't really get a quick image of it, or like a good image of it. But it looks like a Jungle Nidoran. And I don't know if this card is sitting on a pile of just Jungle base set uncommons, commons, I don't know. Maybe this is, and this box, for whatever reason, just got put along with the rest of the stuff. I know the one thing I do, and I disagree and I agree with Rudy on, is, Rudy's such a big guy when it comes to reserve list singles for Magic the Gathering. Rudy has said on multiple occasions that he's not really big into the Pokemon single market. That's the only thing I really disagree with him on. I do believe that the Pokemon single market is very strong, and it's definitely one of the most exciting parts of the hobby. But I don't know if this is just a box of Jungle Booster cards, but we're going to assume it is just for the sake of this video. And then next, you got a couple, XY packs for about $30 each. And they're just strewn across the bathroom sink area. Now, if you look here, right below, the mirror, you got some of, the jumbo promo cards from a lot of these sets. One that's sitting right on the top is, you probably recognize it, it's a Dragonite. It came from the Furious Fist sets. Now, there's a lot of promo cards here. I tried to get a good understanding. I think I have a stack of jumbo promo cards that was 100 of them. And I looked at that stack before I made this video to try to get a good comparison, but I couldn't. There's a lot of jumbo cards here, a couple hundred. Yeah, the one problem with these jumbo cards is they don't have crazy high liquidity to it, so you don't see a lot of sales of them. But just for the sake of argument for these jumbo cards, we'll call them $3 a piece, and the big asterisk being for that $3. Some of these might be a little bit more. Like I said, the liquidity for these jumbo promos can get really hard. Yeah, there's more than just a Dragonite, but they're probably all from those XY jumbo promo times. So next, we got the figures, and looks like they're from the Mew and Mewtwo Super Premium Collection box. Again, these figures, the liquidity of them are not great. So you could say prices fluctuate between $5 on the low end to $15 on the high end for these figures. But there's tons of them here. Next, you can see that he must have opened a bunch of the Generation pin collections for the Melita promos, and you can see the pins in there. These promos, call it for a promo plus pin, you're looking about $5 for the pair. And when you got a box this much, you got a decent amount just in promos right there. Again, the liquidity for something like that is probably not super easy, but there's still a lot of money there. Next, you can see on the floor, and there's actually one over there in the sink too, but you got the legendary battle decks, but you got the entire display cases there. And those had the Lugia and the Ho-Ho in it, and there was 6 of those per box. So, those Lugia and Ho-Hos, again, there's not a lot of sales data for this on the market, but you're still looking around $130 each individual box. So you got 6 boxes per display case. So, just there alone looks like there's a couple of those, and I've already added it up. And again, we'll talk about that at the end. Next, you can see just a huge box, and it appears to be like the Legends of Alola tins. And those Legends of Alola tins are actually one of those things that kind of sneaks under the market a little bit, or is definitely underpriced for the current market, just because the packs that are inside it do command like a decent amount to them. But right now, those tins are selling for like $30 a piece. And, you got an entire box of them. Next, you can see kind of stacked up along the wall by the sink, you have the Guardian Rising's pre-release boxes. And those sell for about $60 right now on the secondary market. Next, you can see the pile of what looks like just purple and gray figurines. If you guys weren't really familiar with these figures, I actually had to go through a box of my figures and figure out which one this actually was. And it looks like they're the Latioses from the collection boxes, or the figure collections, I should say. And the data for these, again, is real sketchy. They sell for around $5 a piece. Yeah, I understand the image I'm going to put up is like $8.50, but trust me, the price of these fluctuate a lot. The liquidity for these figures aren't great, but just for the sake of the video, we're going to call them $5 a piece. Next, we move on to a super iconic box I'm sure you guys have all seen before, and that's a Platinum poster pack, and there's a Magnezone in it. And these Platinum poster packs were pretty available for a while, and the prices have creeped up. I couldn't believe it, actually, how much the prices have creeped up, but $220 for one of these Platinum poster packs. And that just shows you how popular black and white is right now in the Pokemon hobby. Who would have thought? Next, you move on to just boxes and boxes of evolution packs. Evolution packs on the secondary market are selling right around that $20 to $30 mark. Yeah, I know booster boxes are outliers, selling for well over $1,000 sometimes. I know they've dropped down a little bit as of recently. But, loose packs, you're looking around $20 to $30 a piece. XY Phantom Forces, just a ton of these. XY Phantom Forces packs sell for around $20 each. Next, you go the XY Breakpoint, and, not really being a super popular set. These packs are still selling, right around what I would call like MSRP, right around that $4 to $5 area. But still, you got a ton of those packs. XY Fates Collide. Say these packs are selling right around that $7 area. Next, he's just got boxes of this stuff, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of packs. But next we go he's got some XY Breakthrough right there. XY Breakthrough is definitely more than Breakpoint. I'd say breakthrough is right around that $8 to $9 area per pack. Next, you go to, you know, just a box of random booster boxes. You got 2 XY base set booster boxes in there. And you also have 3 booster boxes of XY Furious Fists in there. And, the XY base sets sell for a crazy amount of money right now. You're looking at like $2,000 a booster box. The booster boxes of Furious Fists are selling right around $1,100 per booster box, which, just to go back and, take yourself out of just what we're watching right now, just to think of XY base set being $2,000 a box is just crazy to me, especially Furious Fists being 1,100. These numbers are just crazy. But next, we move to more just boxes of Primal Clash. Primal Clash selling for right around $7 to $8 per pack. And then he has boxes of Furious Fits. I know we saw the booster boxes, but he also just has the loose packs, hundreds of them. And, Furious Fits selling right around that, same area. Then we move on to Steam Siege. And, what can you say about Steam Siege that hasn't already been said? We saw an increase in Steam Siege packs and booster boxes, but as most people were saying, and anybody telling you to invest in Steam Siege just shows you if they're new to the hobby, if they don't really understand it. We've seen prices for Steam Siege packs trace back down to right around that $4 mark, and that's probably where they'll be for a long time. And Steam Siege is one of those weird sets, right? It's that set where a lot of people when you put on your tinfoil hat and you say, okay, all this XY era stuff had so much supply on the market. What happened to it? The big argument is, well, all this supply just eventually got bought up by the individual collector and investor, and that's why there's no more on the market. But then you have the more tinfoil hat type theory that just said, no, there was a lot of XY stuff on the market, but it really wasn't as much as a lot of people were saying. And when I say not that much, I'm talking like only a couple 100,000 worth of product for all these sets. So if you had a ton of money, it was pretty easy to come in and buy up all the available stuff. But with that said, if you were going to do a huge buyout of XY era stuff, the one set that you would definitely not want to touch would be Steam Siege, because if you were to just go after all the other XY stuff, at least there were cards within the set that could potentially keep the prices for booster boxes and sealed product, keep it up. And if you caused an artificial demand by buying up all this XY era stuff, with the price that you could still potentially pull in the packs, you would hopefully not see a huge retrace in price, and the retrace that you would see would not even be close to how much the product is worth from where you bought it. But a lot of people have this conversation. You really could not do that if you decided to pick up Steam Siege, because the realized value of what Steam Siege is, which is a garbage set, there's just not enough money to ever do that sort of buyout. Because if you bought up all the available product on the market for Steam Siege, as soon as people started to realize that the prices increased, you would see a flood of Steam Siege product hit the market, because there's just so much of it out there. So much that people have been trying to get rid of forever. So what would you see is a huge flood hit the market, and then prices would retrace. And if you saw that for Steam Siege, it would just be a poor investment. It'd be so many better XY era sets to go after. So that's what the tinfoil hat theory is, that because all this XY stuff got bought up, the people who ended up coming and was chasing coattails were not part of that big XY buyout. And then what did they do? They bought up the available supply of Steam Siege, because that was the only thing that was left on the market real cheap. Given enough time, what everybody said would happen if you did buy out Steam Siege, meaning Steam Siege all trickle back down onto the market, and we've seen the price gradually reach back down to the $4. Again, total tinfoil hat theory. I know a lot of people have been talking about just this situation, so I figured, hey, we'll talk about it because there's boxes of Steam Siege, and, you know, being the cheapest of all the XY stuff, we've seen prices retrace all the way back to $4. Okay, now we could take our tinfoil hats back off. Next, we move on to the shower, which has just a bunch of black and white stuff in it. And then you got the Super Sneevy box. And, you know, these don't really hit the market that often. There's not a lot of sales data for them, but I would value them right around that $100 mark. There's like 2 of them on the market for sale, but they've been sitting there for a long time. There's not really a lot of sold items for it. Next, you have the outstanding Oshawott boxes. And again, very little sales data for these products, but they sell for right around the $110 mark area. I would say is a pretty good price. Next, still on the bathtub, which again, this video is ridiculous. You got a couple Forbidden Light booster boxes. Well, you got 1 booster box, and then you got an entire case of 6 booster boxes right there. Forbidden Light per booster box, selling for right around that $370 area. And then here we go. We move to the booster box wall. And not only do you have a wall of booster boxes and cases of boxes, but then you have a couple sprinkled on the ground. You know, you got a couple different sets sprinkled in there. You got Primal Clash, you got Ancient Origins, you got Evolutions, you got Roaring Skies. It looks like there's some Fates Collides there. But, you know, you got cases of Primal Clash. Like, I'm counting around 10 cases in total. Primal Clash sells for $380 per booster box. Ancient Origins, around $631 per booster box. Evolutions, there's a couple booster boxes scattered here and there. And like I said, Evolutions is fluctuating between $700 and like $1,300 a booster box. You know, sales data for that, it's been pretty all over the place as of recently. Then you got Roaring Skies. You got a bunch of cases of that. Probably got the most cases of Roaring Skies than you do anything else. Well, you do. And Roaring Skies selling for right around that $355 mark, which, you know, I want to know what your guys' thoughts about Roaring Skies are. Do you still have like a salty taste in your mouth about Roaring Skies? I know I personally do. You wouldn't catch me dead buying a booster box of Roaring Skies just because of, you know, the ups and downs that we've probably gone through with that set alone when it comes to prices. And then the Fates Collide booster boxes selling right around that $450 to $500 mark. So with that said, I'm sure there's some stuff I'm missing. I'm sure there's some stuff that I might have counted a little bit too much or went too high on my theory. But now we're going to get into the part of the video that everybody has been waiting for. What is the total value of Rudy's entire Pokemon bathroom? After taking all available data, everything I can see, you know, the current market trends, eBay sold listings, is this $1 million bathroom? No, guys, sorry, it's not. But for what Rudy paid for all this product, he's done absolutely amazing, especially for somebody that locked it away in a bathroom in their mother's basement. You know, but I honestly, from everything I can see, from where the market is, a very conservative dollar amount I would put on all this product is $175,000. On the high end, I would value all this product at $250,000. So that, again, that's between $175,000 and $250,000 for the entire valuation of all this product. But hey guys, listen, if somehow you've made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Go down below, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, hit the like button. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.